The Osmanoglu family refers to the current members of the historical House of Osman, the Ottoman dynasty, who were the sole rulers and the namesake of the Ottoman Empire from 1299 until the establishment of the Republic of Turkey in 1923. There were 36 Ottoman Sultans who ruled over the empire, and each one was a direct descendant through the male line of the first Ottoman Sultan, Sultan Osman I, after the deposition of the last Sultan, Mehmet VI, in 1922, and the subsequent abolition of the Ottoman Caliphate in 1924. Members of the imperial family were forced into exile. Their descendants now live in many different countries throughout Europe, as well as in the United States, the Middle East, and since they have now been permitted to return to their homeland, many now also live in Turkey. When in exile, the family adopted the surname of Osmanoglu, meaning son of Osman, after the founder of the House of Osman and direct ancestor of all current family members. Heads of the House of Osman since 1923. The Ottoman dynasty was exiled from Turkey in 1924. The female members of the dynasty were allowed to return after 1951, and the male members after 1973. Below is a list of people who would have been heirs to the Ottoman throne following the abolition of the Sultanate on the 1st of November 1922. These people have not necessarily made any claim to the throne. For example, Ertuğrul Osman said democracy works well in Turkey. Mehmet VI, last Ottoman Sultan, 1918 to 1922, then 36th head of the House of Osman in exile, 1922 to 1926. Abdülmecid II, last Ottoman Caliph, 1922 to 1924, then 37th head of the House of Osman following Mehmet VI's death, 1926 to 1944. Ahmed Fornihad, 38th head of the House of Osman, 1944 to 1954, grandson of Sultan Murad V. Osman IV Fuad, 39th head of the House of Osman, 1954 to 1973, brother of Ahmed Fornihad, and grandson of Sultan Murad V. Mehmed Abdülaziz II, 40th head of the House of Osman, 1973 to 1977, grandson of Sultan Abdülaziz I. Ali I Vasib, 41st head of the House of Osman, 1977 to 1983, son of Ahmed Fornihad, and great-grandson of Sultan Murad V. Mehmed Orhan II, 42nd head of the House of Osman, 1983 to 1994, grandson of Sultan Abdülhamid II. Ertuğrul Osman, 43rd head of the House of Osman, 1994 to 2009, grandson of Sultan Abdülhamid II. Osman Bayezid III, 44th head of the House of Osman, 2009 present, great-grandson of Sultan Abdülmecid I. Resurgence of interest in the Ottoman family. Since the turn of this century there has been a growing interest in the living members of the Ottoman family, both within Turkey and abroad. In 2006, family members met at Dolmabahce Palace for the presentation of the documentary Osmanoglu Unsürgünü, The Ottomans' Exile, produced by TRT. Turkish Radio and Television Corporation. This documentary followed the stories of the members of the Ottoman family who went into exile in 1924, following the establishment of the Turkish Republic and the abolition of the Ottoman Caliphate. It then follows the stories of their descendants, who now live in Turkey, Europe, the United States and throughout the Middle East. Extensive coverage of this event, and the success of the documentary series has dramatically raised the profile of the imperial family. According to the New York Times, historians said that the show of reverence at the funeral of Prince Ertuğrul Osman in September 2009 was a seminal moment in the rehabilitation of the Ottoman Empire. An interview with Prince Mehmed Efendi by the Anatolian news agency was published in several publications in Turkey and the UK. A sultan's descendant in the heart of London Turkish citizenship. Without exception, all high-ranking members of the Imperial Ottoman family were exiled in 1924. Most had never left their homeland before, and all were forced to make a new life abroad. The family departed from Circasi train station, and would disperse across Europe, the United States and the Middle East. As the former Ottoman Sultan Mehmed VI had settled in San Remo, many members of the family congregated in the south of France. After living in Switzerland for a short time, the last Caliph of Islam Prince Sayyid Abdülmecid II, also moved to the French Riviera, settling in Nice. The Turkish Republic had issued the exiled Ottoman family members with travel documents, but they were only valid for 1 year. Therefore, by 1925 members of the family were no longer able to travel. Prince Sayyid Ali Vasip Effendi appealed to the French government and succeeded in obtaining courtesy passports for them. The French government also issued passports to the children of the members of the family who were born in exile. In the years since the exile was lifted, many members of the Ottoman family have obtained Turkish citizenship and hold Turkish passports. The formal way of addressing the male descendants of the Ottoman Sultans is Dorlatlu Nijabatlu Sayyid, given name, Hazretli I Effendi, that is Prince, given name, Effendi, with the style of His Imperial Highness. According to genealogies of the House of Osman, had the Sultanate not been abolished, there would be 24 imperial princes in the line of succession after Bayezid Osman, the current head of the family. The succession law used is agnatic seniority, with the succession passing to eldest male dynasty. The formal way of addressing the female descendants of the Ottoman Sultans is Dorlatlu Hazretli I, given name, Sultan, that is Princess, given name, Sultan, with the style of Her Imperial Highness. According to genealogies of the House of Osman, had the Sultanate not been abolished, there would be 14 imperial princesses,